Welcome back to the channel. And this time around, we're going to take a look at new things in the Typo 3 backend that's super helpful for you as integrators and administrators. So stay tuned. So you might know that administrator users or users with the admin permission basically can do anything in Typo 3. And this is helpful because it's just a single switch. But on the other hand, there's a couple of problems with that, because you might not want to have all administrator users being able to install extensions or reconfigure your system. And we came up with a solution for that. These are the so-called system maintainers. So let's dive right in. I'll give you an example how that works. So if we take a look at our backend users that we configured here, I have an admin user which is called other admin. And there's, of course, me, and I'm online right now. And what you can see underneath the admin tools main menu, that we have the maintenance module, the settings module, the upgrade wizards, the environment, and very important, extensions. So these are things I can access as an administrative user. And there's one important thing. If you head over to the settings module and then go to the installation-wide configuration options, we can search for maintainer, scroll down a bit, and then you can see a new setting which is called sys system maintainers, and this is set to 1. What this means is not that it's enabled or disabled or a special setting. This is a list of unique identifiers for the backend users. So 1 is the UID of me, Matthias, and this is why I have access to all these modules. So let's take a look what happens if we switch over to the backend user. That's not what I wanted to do. If we switch over to the backend user other admin, which has a different UID, which is 7, which is not in the list that we just defined in the system configuration module. So if we switch over to this user, you can see it's a full-blown admin user. They have access to the access modules to other backend users. They can do everything an administrator can do, but they cannot configure the system. They cannot install or uninstall extensions. And this is the important part. So you can give even your customers, say, an elevated editor that can do a lot of stuff with the system, but they cannot do anything related to code. So no extensions can be installed, no setting can be misconfigured. And this will actually help you a lot with your system maintenance. Another thing you might realize once you install Typo 3 version 9.2 is that there's no language module anymore. This is because we figured that languages is part of the configuration of the system. So we moved it into the maintenance part of the administrative tools. So let's take a look how that looks now. So we go to admin tools, maintenance, and then you can see the main card, manage language packs. And if we click this, you can see that there's currently no language pack installed at the moment. And what we can do is we can just add a language, and then you can see all the registered languages Typo 3 can work with. And we simply go for, let's say, Canadian French. And what is happening now is that you can see that there's a list of extensions down here that does not have the language module installed yet. And another thing you will realize up on top here, that we now have 2 active languages. And this is because Canadian French is based on French, or just French, I guess. So you can have language dependencies, and this is the case for, say, Portuguese and Brazilian, because the Brazilian language is Portuguese, but there's a couple of minor twists to that. And what you can do now is you can either download the language packs per language, or you can just update them all. And as you can see, we sped up the download quite a bit. So in our tests, it's roughly 3 times as fast as before. And what you can see now is that there have been 64 new modules being installed. And there are 4 language packs which are not yet available. And these are the language packs for the style guide extension, which we covered in an earlier video. And there's simply no translation for it at all, because it doesn't need one. And one for our YouTube demo, which we installed because nobody took the time to translate the entire project in an hour, because we basically built this extension an hour ago. So this is why these language packs are not available. The main difference you will see is that the module is a lot more compact and will only show you those parts of information that you really need to see. So if there's some action you need to take, some piece to download in order to get your language packs done. And this should ease the process of installing language packs. So that's it for another video. We'll see you next week. Stay tuned and bye.